Hey everyone, welcome back to Coding Artist. I am Mitali and I'm so glad you are here. Today we are diving into something super important for beginners and job seekers, the 25 most frequently asked HTML interview questions. Whether you are prepping for a front-end developer role or just brushing up your HTML skills, this video will walk you through the essential concepts, real examples and quick explanations. So let's dive in. So the first question is, what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's the backbone of every web page you see on the internet. Think of it like the structure or skeleton of a website. It tells the browser what content to show and how it is organized, like headings, paragraphs, image and links. Without HTML, there's no web page, just a blank screen. Next question is, what are HTML tags? So HTML tags are basically little instructions that tell the browser how to show the content on web page. They are written inside the angle bracket and usually come in pairs, one to start and one to end, wrapping around the stuff they affect. For example, H1 tag to create heading and P tag to create paragraph. Now heading to the next question. What is the difference between HTML and HTML5? HTML is the original language used to build web pages, but over time it evolved to include new features and better ways to structure content. That's where HTML5 comes in. It's the latest version of HTML with lots of new tools like video and audio support, better graphics, improved handling of web apps. So basically HTML5 is an upgraded, more powerful version of HTML5 that creates modern and interactive websites. What is doctype HTML? That line at the very top of an HTML file is called the doctype declaration. It's not actually an HTML tag, but it tells browser which version of HTML to expect, so the page displays correctly. In modern website, this doctype tells the browser to use the latest HTML5 standard, helping ensure everything works smoothly. What are void elements? Void elements are special HTML tags that don't have a closing tag. They are like standalone tags that just sit there and don't wrap around any content. For example, the image tags for images or BR tags for line breaks are void elements. They are useful because they insert something into the page without needing to enclose a text or another element. What are semantic HTML elements? Semantic HTML elements are tags that clearly describe the meaning of the content inside them. Instead of using generic tags like div or span, semantic tags like header, nav, main and footer tell both browser and developers what each section of the page is about. This makes the code easier to read, improves accessibility and helps SEO too. What is the difference between div tag and section tag? Both div tag and section tag are used to group content in HTML, but there's a key difference. Div tag is a generic container with no specific meaning. We usually use it just to style or lay out parts on the page. On the other hand, section is a semantic element, which means it tells us the content inside is a standalone section, like a block with heading and unrelated info. So if the content has a clear purpose or theme, it's better to use section. What is the difference between span and div tag? Div and span are both used as a container in HTML, but they both serve different purposes. Div is a block level element which takes up full width of page and starts on a new line, perfect for grouping larger sections of content. Span on the other hand is an inline element, meaning it stays within the flow of text and doesn't break into a new line. Usually use span to style small pieces of text inside a paragraph. In HTML, comments are lines that browser completely ignores. They are just for you or other developers reading the code. To write a comment, you use this format. Open angle brackets, exclamation, dash dash, your comment, dash dash, closing angle bracket. It's super helpful for adding notes, explaining part of codes, or temporarily hiding content without deleting it. What is the meta tag used for? The meta tag is used inside the head section of an HTML document and it provides important information about the page. like the character set, description, keywords, or how the page should behave on different screens. This info isn't visible on the page itself, but it keeps search engines, browsers, and social media platforms understand your website better. How do you create a hyperlink in HTML? For example, look at this code snippet. We are using the A tag with an href attribute that points to a website. The text between the opening and closing tag, like visit coding artist, is what shows up as a clickable link on the page. When someone clicks it, they are taken to the URL we have provided. What is difference between relative and absolute URL? A relative URL points to a file or page within the same website, like about.html. It's based on the current location of your file. An absolute URL, on the other hand, includes the full path, like htmlexample.com/about.html, and it works no matter where you see it. So the use of relative URLs are for linking within your own site, and absolute ones when linking to other websites or paths. How do you create lists in HTML? In HTML, we create two main types of lists: ordered and unordered list. An unordered list uses UL tag and it shows bullet points. An ordered list uses OL tag and displays items with number. Inside both, we have list elements for each list item, so it's just a matter of choosing whether you want bullets or numbers. How do you create a table in HTML? To create a table in HTML, we start with a table tag. Inside that, we have tr for each table row. Then inside each row, we add td tags for table data, basically the cells. If you want the headers at the top, you can use th tag instead of td. It's a simple structure: HTML table, rows and cells. What is the use of colspan and rowspan? In HTML, colspan and rowspan are attributes that let a cell span across multiple columns or rows. Colspan makes a cell stretch across two or more columns, while rowspan makes it cover multiple rows. This helps you create more flexible and organized tables by combining cells where needed. What are main form elements in HTML? In HTML, forms let user enter and submit data. The main form elements include input, which is used for text fields, checkbox, radius, and more, text area for longer input text, select for drop-down menus, button to submit or reset form, and label to describe each input clearly. These elements work together to create interactive forms on website. What are new input types in HTML5? HTML5 introduced several new input types to make forms smarter and easier to use. Some of these include email for email addresses, URL for website links, tel for phone numbers, number for numeric input, date and time for picking dates and times, and range for sliders. These new types help with built-in validation and better user experience. How do you add an image in HTML? To add an image in HTML, we use the image tag. It's a self-closing tag, so no need for closing tag. The most important attribute is source, which tells the user where to find the image file. You should also include an alt attribute, a short description of the image, which helps the accessibility and shows if the image can't load. How do you embed a video using HTML5? To embed a video in HTML5, you use the video tag. Inside it, you add one or more source tags that point to the video files, usually in different formats like MP4 or WebM. You can also add controls so the user can play, pause, or adjust file volume. This way, visitors can watch videos right on your web page without needing any plugins. What is the use of label in forms? The label tags in form is used to give a clear description to form elements like inputs and checkbox. When you link a label to an input, clicking the label will focus or activate that input, which improves usability and accessibility, especially for users with screen readers. What is difference between ID and class? In HTML, both ID and class are attributes used to identify elements, but they work differently. An ID is unique and should be used only once per page, like specific name tag for one element. A class can be shared by multiple elements, letting you group them together for styling or scripting. So we use ID for a single unique element and class when you need to target multiple elements. What is an iframe tag in HTML? An iframe tag in HTML lets you embed another web page or content right inside your current page. Think of it as a window that shows a separate website or document within your site. It's commonly used to add videos, maps, or other external content without redirecting users away from your page. What are data dash asterisk attributes in HTML? Data attributes in HTML start with data dash and let you store information right inside an element. For example, you might have data user 123 to keep track of the user ID. These attributes don't affect how the page looks but can really be useful for JavaScript to grab and use that info. How do you make a page SEO friendly in HTML? To make your HTML page SEO friendly, start by using meaningful and semantic tags like header, main and footer. Add descriptive titles like title tag and include a concise meta description. Use heading tags H1 to H6 properly to organize your content. Also make sure your images have descriptive alt text and your URLs are clean and readable. All this helps search engines understand and rank your page better. What are global attributes in HTML? Global attributes are special attributes you can add to almost any HTML element. They include things like ID, class, style, and title. These attributes help to identify, style, or add extra info to the elements, making your code more flexible and easier to work with. And that's a wrap on HTML basics. I hope this helped you understand how things work behind the scenes of a web page. If you found this helpful, you don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment if you have any questions. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.